Hey everybody, what's up, see you today. Alright, so kind of a late start. It's after 7 and I wasn't going to do anything tonight because I am getting such a late start, but I've been in the leather shop all day long and released a bunch of videos, well, several, and I have any more videos done, so I don't know if you guys been seeing that Buffalo River that's been coming off the saw, but man, oh man, I like that stuff. Big pieces, and I just don't get pieces that big very often to flint knap that's got that sort of length to them. So don't come around every day, not for me anyways. And who doesn't want to make long points? So I thought, it may not turn out to be that, but I thought I would give the old Clovis a try again. If this piece of rock wants to cooperate. Got quite a few, well, I got several, not quite a few, I got several rock and tool orders today. If you ordered some stuff and you're watching, it's going out in the morning. In fact, I sold several boxes of Georgetown today, which I don't know if I mentioned it, but that's what this is here, is Georgetown. If I start feeling like I'm going to rush too much on this, then I'll probably just quit and finish it tomorrow evening. Doggone it. It's a little bit warmer today than it has been. Not by a lot, but it's definitely warmer. My pond's froze completely over from bank to bank. It's about pond's about 3 surface acres. When it's all filled, which it is right now. Had ducks sitting out there this morning, and they're all sitting on top of the ice. They obviously missed the memo about heading home or something, I don't know. Doggone it. Ugh. I was having a problem down there at that end to begin with. I really am. Let's see. I got this belly in it. Doggone it. Alright, well, we may not go with a Clovis now. Worrying too much about the convexity probably too soon, and Yeah, any of you guys that are I appreciate everyone who's watching and has watched and subscribed, and yeah, I've said it a million times. I appreciate all of you guys and girls. Although you girls only make up about I don't know, 5-6%, something like that, I think, but I still appreciate every one of you. But and you guys that are buying material and stuff, I appreciate that. I've had some people tell me that they wish it was the material was more consistent, you know, that I had it all the time, but maybe someday. Unfortunately, that's not in the cards for me right at the moment. Put this phone in here so that, there we go. Just make sure we're not gonna I probably should have already had zoomed in more than that, but we'll regularize the edge and clean it up a bit and see where we're at. We may very well just go ahead and flute it, and this one's already probably cleaner than the other one was when I fluted it. Kind of wish I would have took more time on the other one, but it was cold. I was in a hurry. Wife was home. Sun was in my eyes. Dog bit me. Teacher ate my homework. You know, all the normal excuses. I did finally finish watching Brad's Brad Moore's live feed he did the other day, and lo and behold, he was making after all the bifacing that the spalling that he went through at that Buffalo River, then he made a black buffalo Clovis, which was looking pretty good. He tried an extra little piece, which I don't blame him, not one bit, fluting it from the tip, and it broke. But I probably would have tried the same thing, I guess. If I was in that situation and thought about it, I would have tried the same thing. And you're not going to learn unless you take some risk and try some things like that. And I haven't talked to Brad, but I'm assuming that's exactly what he was doing. So, Brad, if you're watching, I appreciate you doing that video, bud. It was a good video. Those of you guys that watch Brad know that he's been picking up the slack where a bunch of the rest of us have been slacking off on getting videos done. Not sure what Crafty's up to. I didn't watch his auction video, but was busy for a long time hunting and doing stuff like that, but now I think he's getting ready to go back to Vermont or someplace, wherever his dad's at. But so I think I'm all caught up on my watching. I think I've watched everything I was behind on in the shop today, or for the most part anyways. I really enjoy watching flint knapping tips too, but or since I've been getting into wanting to get more into the abo thing, which I haven't had time to do any of that lately. I started that series and thought, well, I'm gonna have some time to do this, and then I haven't had time. But I think that looks a little bit more like it should. It's cleaner. It does have this flake across the bottom here, which is a little bit deep, so that might affect things. I'm not sure, but that ought to be about right there. So we'll flute this side first. I'm going to sharpen this. I guess I'll find out later why the Clovis culture didn't last longer than it did. I've always heard that it's because of the failures in manufacture, but that very well may be. So those are my guide flakes. I wish they would have went a little bit further, but they didn't. And then I kind of went over this with John Tuttle before. My first time going down to seeing John, actually. And he's actually the one that taught me how to set this up like this and stuff. After I was down there, then I just didn't mess with it anymore. So theoretically that ought to do it. So I don't know if I can show that profile, or it has a I can't get it on there to get to where you can see it right, but it's got convexity coming up over this way some, and then it has convexity this way. It doesn't have a real tall median ridge, but so I'm not sure of how that's going to work, but it does have convexity this way, and it has some convexity coming over this way. So as far as I know, that's what we want. And alright, let's get out my piece of leather here. See how this feels. Now while I'm doing this, I'm pushing in like this, right? pushing in like this, and I'm pushing straight towards a tip, kind of just up on the edge just a little bit. I think if you're off to one side or the other, then you run the risk of running the flute off. Well, it fluted, but it didn't flute real deep. Yeah. We might flute this side and then try this side again, because it just came out too shallow. I must have had my angle wrong a little bit. I mean, it's got a flute, but it ain't much of one. Personally, I wouldn't even consider that even a flute. But anyways, I was expecting something much more spectacular than that. Alright, let's try this side, see what happens. Alright. That one felt a little better. It really wasn't, though. It really wasn't much better. It did run a flute up to here, which is all it needed to do. This here did not flute that great. Probably around a piece. That deepened it up. I don't know, it's pretty thin down at this end. Even though that flute's not great on that side at all. It's pretty thin down there. So our preform seemed a little bit better, but our flute was lacking. So that's twice now my flute is really spread out. So I think that's because I don't have enough convexity and not enough high ridge in the center, I believe, is why it just did that. So on the next one, and I probably could have just kept pressure flaking a couple more passes and got this kind of convexity I have here now, which is too late, but I'm guessing that's as far as the fluting goes, and the tool I'm fluting with, I think that's legitimate. I think that number 4 indirect stick is going to work really well. We definitely got some, it's shallow down there at that end where the flutes are. Well, I'm kind of wondering why it only lasted a few hundred years. I think Clovis, the Clovis culture, unless I'm wrong, I maybe remember it wrong, but it seems like it only lasted a few hundred years, 300 or 400 years. And I'm wondering why. Because we're 29 minutes in, and I could finish this edge a little bit and they would be done. So as far as speed goes, I mean, you can see how thin that is down here. It'd be no problem halving that. But as far as speed goes, a Clovis is, for me, seems to be much faster to make, and maybe as they get thinner I'll have more breaks, but as of right now, not really exactly sure why the culture didn't last very long. But some of you guys that are way smarter than me will know. Actually, I don't think anybody knows. We're just guessing. We're just guessing at best. So I wouldn't say this is necessarily better than the first one, other than the fact that we did have a better surface. This is cleaner. I'm probably not going to go all out on this thing. Knock off these deltas. If you were doing these all the time, I could see where you could probably knock one out in about half an hour, something like that. A lot of times I spend a half an hour just on a notching. That may be inexperience or what have you, which I'm sure that's a lot of it. And don't know at what point you can consider yourself experienced. I mean, there's some guys out there, of course, that are, I would say, are experienced. But I don't know that I qualify as one. I just another guy trying to learn it. Just another Yahoo trying to learn it. I'll tell you what, the longer I'm in this little hobby of ours, man, the people that are in this deal are just awesome. Just about everyone is just really pretty cool, you know. I have met, I think out of all the time I've been doing this, and I probably, I'm pretty active in it, as you guys know, so I have contact with a lot of people, and I've only actually met I think 2, maybe 3 that that were just a little special. Everyone else has been just awesome. I had one goofball that he disputed my PayPal, said that I sent him bad rock because it had Cortex on it. They were Spalls, and yeah, Spalls have Cortex on them, and he didn't want any Cortex, so I had the documentation for that. He said, I'm gonna blast you on all the sites. I said, you go right on ahead, buddy. I got screenshots of this guy was literally a Karen. I mean, one of the first people, I guess it'd be a Ken because he's a male, right? But I won't out him. I'm not gonna give his name. He just kind of, he came and went. I have not seen him post anything anywhere at all. So he was on the sites, bad mouthing rock dealers and everything else, and someone would post something for sale, and he would be part of that group, jumps on there and goes, y'all are ripping people off, you're doing this, doing that, something else. Listen, if you don't like someone's price, and I do the same thing, I buy a lot of rock from other people for myself. I can't get all kinds of rock. I have to rely on other people, and I want to flint nap different kinds of stuff. If I was just relying on the stuff I have right here in this county, I would be napping junk all the time, because most of our material here is highly fractured and beat up and just not very good stuff. So I buy a lot of rock. And that dude is sharp as... It's fat, but that is sharp, Jack. Anyways, there's our second Clovis. That's all I'm going to do to it. I'm actually a little more happy with this one than I was the first one. And I brought the first one out so we could look at them together. So, on the first one, we had this ugliness on this side, right? This side was okay. Pretty cool. I can't remember what was this made out of? Oh, black buffalo, that's what it was. Black buffalo. I don't know what I was thinking. I got a bunch of stuff around here that looks like black buffalo. I've got some oil shirts, and I got that Rainy Buttes. And stuff. So anyways, so this side was okay. They're about almost the same length, almost identical. And flute on this one was a little bit longer, a little bit shallower on this side. I could probably set this up and shoot another one up that, but I'm not going to. This one overall is just cleaner than this one, but this one was much more well prepared. I did grind the bottom of this one, and I will grind the bottom of this one too, because all these Clovises were, as far as I know, were heavily ground on the base. Now we're heavily ground, but yeah, this one was cleaner. I can see where that helped a lot. On the next one, I'm gonna really run I'm really gonna have a median ridge going, and we're gonna see if we can really flute that dude. But we're on the right path, I think. You guys that are good at Clovises are probably like, "You're not on the right path. You're an idiot." And that might be. Depends on who you're talking to, I guess. Anyways, yeah, that's it. Number two in the Clovis series. So, and we'll just keep these going like this, and the next one's going to be better. And we're going to get a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, to we're making a nice, clean, cool Clovis. Because I want these shoulders to come up here. I don't want this to be so wide. And I'm sure that it's just spreading out that wide because, you know, maybe I need to have a little bit narrower platform. Although I don't think those were all that wide to begin with. But I think we just need more of a predominant center ridge than what I'm getting. I didn't have hardly any of that with this. You guys seen how rough this was when I went to flute it. I might fluted it with a bunch of junk over here, but I didn't want to narrow it up any narrower, and it's just a practice piece. So the flute end on both of them are pretty shallow or pretty narrow. You'd have no problem hafting that. And listen, I'm sure if there was a prehistoric fella sitting here, you'd go, "Man, I'll take both those." No doubt. Actually, you wouldn't. He'd look around at the steel and go, "Nah, you keep that rock. I'm taking the steel." They weren't idiots. But yeah, there we go. Pretty cool. So there's our second Clovis. And let me take a picture here if I can. Okay, so I think I cut, I don't know what I just did. I hope that was all recording. But here we go. We're just going to call it in here. I'm going to have to piece these two pieces together. So y'all, I'll take a picture of this off here. I tried to do it when the video was rolling, and that didn't work out. So anyways, there's our second attempt Clovis. It's a little cleaner than the first. And I'm going to work a little bit more on the ridge. We went over all that. So they're going to get better. Stick with me. There's a Clovis 2.0. Y'all keep napping. Thanks for watching.